Hello, my friends, and welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. We are continuing today with our replay of the 1998 Chicago Cubs journey through the National League playoffs. The first game is on my channel. I won't spoil that for you until the end of this game, but I will tell you that this is game 2. We are in Atlanta at Turner Field. The game in real life, or as the kids like to say, IRL, was won by the Braves in 10 innings, 2-1. After this game, the teams will travel to Chicago and play games 3 and, if necessary, 4. And then before coming back to Atlanta for game 5, if that one is necessary. Our date is October 1st, 1998. The pitching matchup is Kevin Tapani for the Cubs against Tom Glavine for the Braves. We're using the as-played lineups, of course, my friends, because if we don't, heads explode all over this great land of ours. In the description for this video is a link to channel membership. With channel membership, you get a lot more of this insanity, including a free gift from me every month, access to members-only exclusive videos, and a discount on the secondary store. So, lots of goodies for you with channel membership, and the link is below in the description for this video. So with no further ado, let's get to today's starting lineups and roll some replay baseball. The 1998 Cubs at the 1998 Atlanta Braves, Game 2 of their playoff series. For the visiting Cubs, managed by Jim Riggleman, Lance Johnson leads off in center. Manny Alexander bats second at short. Mark Grace bats third at first. Sammy Sosa bats fourth and right. Glenn Allen Hill bats fifth in left field. Gary Gaetti bats sixth at third. Mickey Morandini bats seventh at second base. And Scott Service bats eighth. He will catch. On the mound for the Cubs, Kevin Tapani, 34 starts, 219 innings. He was 19-9 with a 485 earned run average in the 1998 season. For the homestanding Braves, managed by Bobby Cox, it's Walt Weiss leading off at short, Keith Lockhart batting second at second, Chipper Jones batting third at third base, Andres Galarraga batting fourth at first base, Ryan Klesko batting fifth in left field, Javi Lopez batting sixth and catching, Andrew Jones batting seventh in center field, Michael Tucker batting eighth in right field, and on the mound it's Tom Glavine, 33 starts for Tom, 229 innings. He was 20-6 with a 2.47 earned run average in 1998. Here's our shot of Turner Field. Little bit easier for right-handers to get one out of the park, but still pretty much a pitcher's park. All right, we've got our dice ready for replay baseball. Lance Johnson steps in the box, and we're ready to go in Atlanta. Game 2. And the first pitch is actually the third pitch of the game because Lance Johnson strikes out to get us going. And that's out number 1 in the top of the first. Manny Alexander comes to the plate, playing shortstop in place of Jose Hernandez today. The delivery to him. And there's a line drive base hit for Alexander to left field. Ryan Klesko collects it and gets it back in, and that'll bring up Mark Grace. Lefty-lefty matchup. The stretch by Glavine and the pitch to Grace is going to be swung on and hit to short. Walt Weiss gloves it. He goes to Lockhart for one, and the relay to Galarraga is in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing 6-4-3 double play turned by the Braves, and that'll take care of the Cubs in the first. Now it's time for Kevin Tapani to take on the top of the Braves order. Tapani winds and deals to Walt Weiss, and he strikes him out. He got him at the high cheese, and there's one down in the Braves first. Here's Keith Lockhart. Tapani winds and deals to him, and it's swung on by Lockhart and hit to right and deep. Back goes Sammy Sosa, warning track, wall, and it's gone. A first inning home run by Keith Lockhart puts the Braves up 1-0. That will bring up Chipper Jones here in the first. Galarraga on deck. Tapani winds and deals, and struck out Jones with a changeup. 2 down in the Braves first. Here comes the cat, Andres Galarraga. 44 bombs for him in 98. The wind and the delivery is swung on by Galarraga, and this one is lined to right. It's going to get in the gap. Sosa's got to run it down. Galarraga around first. He's going to cruise into second with a 2-out double. Here comes Ryan Klesko with a chance to extend the Braves' lead. The stretch by Tapani and the pitch to Klesko. We may have a rare play. We don't. It's a little dribbler back to Tapani. And Tapani fires to Grace to get Klesko at first. That will end the Braves' first inning, but they get a run on the Lockhart home run and lead it after 1 inning of play, 1-0. It'll be Sosa, Hill, and Gaetti coming up against Glavine in inning number 2. The windup and the delivery by Tom Glavine is swung on by Sosa and hit to left and deep. Back goes Klesko, and this one is out of here for a bomb for the Cub right fielder. It's a 1-1 game. Well, that didn't take long. Here's Glenn Allen Hill. The delivery, this is swung on and hit to left. Here comes Klesko. He will get there for out number 1 in the second inning. Gary Gaetti comes up now. Glavine kicks and deals to him. And it's swung on by Gaetti and hit to center. Can of corn for Andrew Jones, and he's got it for out number 2. Mickey Morandini up there now. Glavine kicks and deals to Mickey. And this is swung on and popped up. Chipper Jones in fair territory is calling and taking for out number 3. But the Cubs tie the game in inning number 2 on a solo blast by Sammy Sosa. We go to the bottom of 2, and your scores: the Cubs won and the Braves won. Lopez, Andrew Jones, and Michael Tucker coming up in the bottom of the second. The pitch to Lopez is swung on and hit to right. Gonna drive Sammy back a few steps, but he's got room and puts it away for out number 1. Andrew Jones is up there now. Tapani winds and deals. Swung on by Jones and bounced to second. Mickey Morandini gloves it to his left and flips to Mark Grace for out number 2. Here's Michael Tucker. Tapani kicks and delivers to Tucker, and it's strike 3 swinging for the Braves right fielder. He got him on a bender, and it's a 1-2-3 recovery inning for Kevin Tapani. We've got 2 in the books, and it's the Cubs 1 and the Braves 1. Game 1 was a tough, tight one, and this one is shaping up to be a close game as well. Service, Tapani and Johnson coming up. 8-9-1 in the Cubs second. Glavine kicks and deals. Scott Service hits one to left, but not deep. Coming in is Ryan Klesko. He's got it for out number 1. Kevin Tapani up there now for his first at-bat. Glavine kicks and deals, and he strikes out the Cub pitcher for Glavine's second strikeout. That'll bring up the 1 dog, Lance Johnson, with 2 outs and nobody on. Tom Glavine winds and deals to Johnson. It is swung on and hit to Wait a minute. It is off the pitcher's glove. Glavine picks it up, fires to first, but too late to get Johnson. A 2-out single, infield single for the Cubs center fielder. Here's Manny Alexander. The stretch by Glavine and the pitch to Manny is a strikeout. He got him on a dead fish changeup, and that'll retire the Cubs in inning number 3. We've played 2.5, and your score is Atlanta 1 and Chicago 1. Tapani will face Glavine, Weiss, and Lockhart in the Atlanta third. Tapani winds and deals. Glavine draws a walk, trots down to first. A leadoff base runner for Atlanta in the third. Walt Weiss comes to the plate now. Tapani the stretch and the pitch to Walt. We may have a rare play. We will have a rare play check. And we've got a runner on first base. That's a 7. There's nobody out. Ground ball to second. Morandini backhands the ball and flips to the shortstop for the force, but Alexander drops the ball as he turns to make the double play. Well, now we have to roll against Alexander's error rating. Manny Alexander at shortstop is a 46. It drops the ball, and everybody's going to be safe. That's going to be an error on Alexander. 2 are on now for Atlanta. Glavine safe at second. Weiss safe at first. And here comes Lockhart, who hit a home run in the first inning. Nobody out. Tapani in a third inning jam, thanks to his defense. The stretch by Tapani and the delivery is popped up. On the infield dirt, Mickey Morandini is under it, and he's got it for out number 1. That's a big out for Tapani right there. Here's Chipper Jones. Double play depth for the Cub infield. Tapani the stretch. The delivery to Chipper is swung on and hit to center on a line. Lance Johnson on the run. He makes a running catch for out number 2. Holding at second is Glavine, and that'll bring up Galarraga. Tapani, a good pitch away from getting out of the mess. Tapani the stretch, the pitch to Galarraga is swung on and hit to short. Alexander with a chance for redemption. He's going to go the short way to Morandini, and that's going to retire the Braves in the third inning. They get a couple of base runners with nobody out and fail to score. We go to the fourth, and it's the Cubs 1 and the Braves 1. Grace, Sosa, and Hill coming up in the Cub fourth inning. Glavine winds and deals to Mark Grace. Ground ball hit to third. Chipper Jones gloves it to his left and fires to Andres Galarraga for out number 1. Sammy Sosa went deep to account for the Cubs' only run back in the second. Let's see if he does it again. The pitch from Glavine is swung on by Sammy and hit to Weiss at short. Tough play for Walt. Let's see if he can make it. And he fumbles it for an E6. That is going to put Sosa on first with 1 out. Glenn Allen Hill comes to the plate. Sloppy defense early by both teams. Glavine the stretch, and the pitch to Hill is swung on, and this one is hit on a line to right. Michael Tucker makes the catch on the run. Sosa retreats to first, and there's 2 away in the Cub fourth. Gary Gaetti now 0 for 1. Glavine the stretch, and struck him out. Another dead fish changeup by Tom Glavine. We've played 3.5. It's the Cubs 1 and the Braves 1. Tapani will face Klesko, Lopez, and Andrew Jones in the Braves fourth. The wind and the delivery by Kevin Tapani is swung on by Klesko, and this one is going to drop for a base hit. This goes to center field. Lance Johnson gets it back in. It's a leadoff single for the Braves. Javi Lopez comes to the plate. The stretch by Tapani and the pitch to Lopez. Struck him out. Tapani got him with a bender, and there's 4 strikeouts now for Kevin in the ball game. Andrew Jones comes up. He's 0 for 1. Tapani the stretch. The pitch to Jones is... Well, we got to do a ballpark check. Let's see what happens here. Jones hits it to left and deep down the line. Fair or foul, fair or foul. And this one is gone. It's fair and it's gone for Andrew Jones, and it's a 3-1 Braves lead. Tapani hung one to the Braves center fielder, and Andrew Jones just lost it for him. Here's Michael Tucker. Tapani winds and deals to Tucker. Swung on and hit to center, but not deep. Coming in a few steps is Lance Johnson, and he's got it for out number 2. Tom Glavine comes to the plate now with nobody on base. Tapani kicks and delivers. Glavine swings and hits one to Morandini at second. Mickey gloves it, throws to Grace, and that'll retire the Braves in the fourth. But in the fourth, the Braves get 2 runs. On 2 hits, they don't leave anybody. We've played 4, and it's the Braves 3 and the Cubs 1. Bottom third of the Cubs order coming up in inning number 5. It's Morandini's service and Tapani coming up against the Braves left-hander Tom Glavine. The wind and the delivery by Glavine to Morandini is swung on by Mickey and bounced to Weiss at short. He charges and throws on the run to Galarraga, and there's 1 away in the Cub 5th. Scott Service comes to the plate. Glavine kicks and deals. Service with a line drive on a hop to Weiss at short. He gobbles it up, fires to Galarraga, and there's 2 away in the Cub 5th. Tapani now will bat for himself with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Glavine kicks and delivers, and he strikes out Tapani on a high fastball. A 1-2-3 inning for Glavine after the Braves take the lead. We are halfway through this one. It's Atlanta 3 and Chicago 1. Top of the order coming now for the Braves, Weiss, Lockhart, and Chipper Jones. Kevin Tapani kicks and deals, and this is hit on the ground to Gary Gaetti at third. He gloves it to his left, plants and throws to Mark Grace for out number 1. Keith Lockhart, 1 for 2 with a home run in the first. The pitch from Tapani. Swung on by Lockhart and hit to right. Over by the foul line is Sammy Sosa, and he's going to make the catch for out number 2. Chipper Jones is 0 for 2. Andres Galarraga would be next. Tapani kicks and delivers. Ground ball hit to Manny Alexander at short. He gloves it in the hole and fires to Grace. They get Chipper by a step at first. We've played 5 complete, and your score is Atlanta 3 and Chicago 1. After the game, the teams fly to Chicago for Game 3 in Wrigley. Top of the order coming for Jim Riggleman's Cubs in the 6th. Johnson, Alexander, and Grace. Glavine winds and deals to Lance Johnson, and it's popped up. In short right field, it's Keith Lockhart, and he's got it for out number 1. 6 in a row retired now by Tom Glavine, and 8 of his last 9. Manny Alexander up. Glavine kicks and deals. Alexander bounces one to Galarraga, who fields it to his right and feeds Tom Glavine covering for out number 2. Here's Mark Grace at 0 for 2. Sammy Sosa would be next if Grace can reach. Glavine winds and deals. And Grace swings and lights one on a line to left. Ryan Klesko got a bad jump, but he's going to get there and make the catch for out number 3. We've played 5.5, and your score is Atlanta 3 and Chicago 1. It is Galarraga, Klesko, and Lopez, 4, 5, 6 for Bobby Cox coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Kevin Tapani winds and deals to Andres Galarraga. And this one is going to be a base hit to center field for Andres Galarraga. Leadoff single for the Braves in the bottom of the 6th. Ryan Klesko comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Cubs looking for a double play grounder. The stretch by Tapani and the pitch to Klesko is swung on and a little jam job fly ball to center. Here comes Lance Johnson. He's got it for out number 1. Retreating to first is Galarraga. Javi Lopez up there now. Cubs still looking for that double play grounder. The stretch by Tapani and the delivery is swung on by Lopez and hit to Gaetti at third. Gaetti gloves it, fires to Morandini for 1. The relay to first, not in time, not hit hard enough to turn 2. Galarraga retired 5-4, and Lopez safe on the fielder's choice. Andrew Jones comes up there now. He put the Braves in front in the bottom of the 4th with a 2-run homer. The stretch by Tapani and the pitch to Jones is a base hit fair down into the left field corner. This is going to be extra bases. Glenn Allen Hill has to dig it out of there. Let's see if they're going to wave Javi Lopez home. They are not. He is going to hold up at third base. The Braves have runners in scoring position now for Michael Tucker. Well, it's decision time now for Jim Riggleman. The Cubs bullpen is going to get active right now. It's Terry Mulholland starting to throw alongside Matt Karchner, lefty-righty double-barreled action for Jim Riggleman, just the way he likes it whenever he's in hot Atlanta. First base is open. They can walk Tucker and go after Glavine, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Bobby Cox now has the choice to pinch hit for Glavine, but he's not going to. So Glavine's going to bat with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Not a terrible hitting pitcher by any means. The stretch by Tapani. The bases are dripping with Braves. Lopez at third, Jones at second, Tucker at first. The stretch by Tapani and the pitch to Glavine is ball 2. Next delivery by Tapani is swung on and popped up. In fair territory, the Rat, Gary Gaetti, is under it, and he's got it for out number 3. Tapani gets out of a potential put-away inning for the Braves. The Braves leave 3 and fail to score. We go to the 7th. It's Chicago trailing it 3-1. Glavine will face Sosa, Hill, and Gaetti, a trio of right-handed batters. There is stirring in the Braves bullpen, but nobody throwing as yet. Glavine's only allowed 3 hits in the ball game. He has faced 21 men. He can face 28 before fatigue may become an issue. The pitch. And a base hit for Sammy Sosa. This one goes to center field. The first hit for the Cubs since the 3rd inning, and their first base runner since the 4th inning. Sosa leads off the 7th with a single, and here's Glenallen Hill. Braves looking for a double play. Glavine the stretch and the pitch. Hill hits a line drive caught by Walt Weiss. A nice play by the Braves shortstop. 1 down in the Cubs 7th. Sammy still at first. Here's Gary Gaetti. He's 0 for 2. The bottom half, the last 5 batters in the Cubs order right now are a combined 0 for 13. The pitch by Glavine is swung on by Gaetti and hit to Lockhart at second. Keith flips to Weiss for 1. The relay to Galarraga in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing 4-6-3 double play turn by Atlanta. And that will retire the side. It's time to stretch them out in Atlanta with your score. The Braves 3 and the Cubs 1. It'll be Weiss, Lockhart, and Jones as Bobby Cox searches for insurance runs, or, as they say in Central Illinois, insurance. Top of the order, Tapani to Weiss. Here's the delivery. Ground ball hit to short. Manny Alexander's up with it and fires to Mark Grace for out number 1. Tapani has now faced 28 batters, so he's in that fatigue zone potentially if someone should reach. Tapani kicks and deals to Lockhart. Swung on by Keith. This one is hit to left, but not deep. Glenallen Hill is there, and he's got it for out number 2. Chipper Jones, with nobody on, comes to the plate. Galarraga would be next. Chipper is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. Here's the pitch to him. It is swung on by Jones and hit to Alexander at short. He makes a nice play, cuts it off from going up the middle, and strong arms it to first to get Chipper by a step. The Braves are done in the 7th. We go to the 8th. It's Atlanta 3 and Chicago 1. The scoring so far, a home run by Keith Lockhart in the bottom of the 1st put Atlanta up 1-0. Then Sammy Sosa responded with a solo blast of his own in the top of the 2nd. And that tied it up at 1. Then in the bottom of the 4th, Andrew Jones hit a 2-run bomb to put the Braves where we are right now, 3-1 lead for Atlanta. Bottom 3rd of the Cubs order coming up in the 8th. It's Morandini's service and Tapani or a pinch hitter. Glavine winds and deals. Swung on by Morandini, and this is a base hit up the middle. A 64 hopper out to center field, collected by Andrew Jones, and the Cubs have a leadoff man on in the 8th. The Braves bullpen is now busy. It's Rudy Cianez and John Rocker throwing. Lefty-righty double-barreled action for Bobby Cox. Kerry Lightenberg is just watching the proceedings. He is not throwing yet. All right. Coming up, it's Scott's service, and he is 0 for 2 against Glavine. Reelman's going to let him bat. The stretch by Glavine with Morandini at first, and the delivery is popped up. Under it is Keith Lockhart in short right field. He's got it for out number 1. Now we're going to get a pinch hitter for Kevin Tapani. Let's see who that's going to be as Tapani is called back to the Cubs dugout. The pinch hitter will be Jeff Blauser, who started the year as the Cubs starting shortstop and lost his job to Jose Hernandez after an injury. Blauser, of course, a former Brave. Glavine the stretch. The delivery is swung on by Blauser, and that's going to be a base hit to left field. drops in front of Klesko. Morandini plays it safe and stops at second. There are 2 on with 1 out for Johnson, and that's going to do it for Glavine. Here comes Bobby Cox, and he wants John Rocker, and he wants him right now. All right, so let's give you the numbers on Tom Glavine's day. Glavine goes 7 1/3 innings. He allows 6 hits, one of them a home run. He did not walk anybody. He struck out 5. He allowed 1 run so far. It is earned. He's in line for the win if the Braves can hold on. John Rocker comes in. He is going to bat in the number 9 spot in the batting order. John Rocker is in 1998, 47 games, 38 innings. He was 1 3 with a 2.13 earned run average and a couple of saves. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup against Lance Johnson. And Rocker the stretch. Johnson's 1 for 3. Manny Alexander is on deck. The stretch and the delivery. And Rocker strikes out Lance Johnson. Yes, he strikes him out for out number 2. That will bring up Manny Alexander, who's 1 for 3 in the game. Mark Grace would be next. The stretch by Rocker. The pitch to Alexander is swung on and missed by Manny Alexander, and that's going to retire the Cubs in the 8th. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of 8, and your score, Atlanta 3 and Chicago 1. Changes as we go to the bottom of the 8th for the Cubs. New pitcher will be Terry Mulholland. He's going to bat in the number 2 spot where Alexander was. Jeff Blauser is going to stay in and play shortstop. Mulholland in 1998 had 6 starts, 64 relief appearances, 112 innings. He was 6 3 with a 289 earned run average and 3 saves. He is on to face Galarraga, Klesko, and Lopez in the Braves' 8th inning. 3-1 Atlanta. Galarraga's 2 for 3. Mulholland's delivery to him is a line drive base hit to center. A single for Galarraga, and the leadoff man is aboard. Here's Klesko. The stretch by Mulholland and the pitch to Ryan Klesko is strike 3 swinging. He got him on a bender. Ryan Klesko did not come within 3 feet of that pitch. 1 down in the 8th. Here's Javi Lopez. Rod Beck is throwing in the Cub bullpen. Mulholland, the stretch and the delivery is swung on by Lopez, and this one is hit to center. Can of corn for Lance Johnson, and he's got it for out number 2. Andrew Jones is 2 for 3, including the home run that put the Braves in front back in inning number 4. He's up there now. Michael Tucker would be next. The pitch is swung on by Jones. This one is hit to Grace at first. He's going to take it to the bag unassisted for out number 3. So Mulholland works a scoreless 8th. We go to the 9th inning with your score. The Braves 3 and the Cubs 1. We are going to get a new Braves pitcher for the 9th inning. And you can probably guess who that's going to be. It's going to be their 1998 closer, Kerry Lightenberg. He's going to bat in the number 9 spot. And he is on to nail down the win, if he can, for the Cubs. But he's going to have to go through the meat of the Cubs order to do it. 75 games for Lightenberg in 98, 73 innings. He was 3-2 with a 2.71 ERA and 30 saves. He'll face Grace, Sosa, and Hill scheduled in the 9th. The Mark Grace is 0 for 3. Lightenberg deals to the Cub first baseman, and it is swung on and hit to Left field, Dying Quail. Here comes new left fielder Gerald Williams, and he's got it for out number 1. Williams took over for Klesko on defense in the top of the inning. All right. Sammy Sosa comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3. Cubs down by 2. The pitch to Sammy is swung on and a little looper to right. Here comes Michael Tucker, and he's got it for out number 2. That makes Glen Allen Hill the last chance saloon. Gary Gaetti would be next. The pitch to Hill from Lightenberg is a line drive caught by Walt Weiss, and the Braves take game number 2. Let's give you the totals on this one and update you on the series. For the victorious and homestanding 1998 Atlanta Braves, 3 runs, 7 base hits, and they committed 1 error. The Cubs, 1 run on 6 base hits, and they committed 1 error as well. The winning pitcher is Tom Glavine. The save goes to Kerry Lightenberg, his second in the series. Kevin Tapani takes the loss. The Braves now lead the series 2-1. They won game 1 4-3. They win game 2 3-1. We go now to Wrigley Field for game number 3. It'll be Kerry Wood on the mound for the Cubs against Greg Maddux for the Braves. Hope you'll join me. Don't forget to check out channel membership. In the description for this video is the link to channel membership. With channel membership, you get access to a ream of members-only videos. You get a discount on the secondary store, and you get a free gift from me every month. So check that out. Great deal for hobby fans. But for now, from Atlanta, your final in Game 2, October 1st, 1998. It's Atlanta 3, Chicago 1. The Braves take a 2-0 lead in the series. Have a great evening. So long, everybody.